You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, General Hospital fans, right now we have got Jason and Sasha getting closer by the day as they sell this big baby lie, and it's starting to look a little familiar. It reminds me of a blast from Jason's past, his origin story with Sam. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and we're going to talk about how Sasha's current storyline with Jason feels like a redo of how Sam and Jason got together so many years ago. But before we jump in, please click that subscribe button if you're not following us. Okay, so we've got Sasha pregnant with Michael's baby. They had that one night stand when Michael found out Willow kissed Drew and then, did a lot more. But of course, if word got out that Michael is the father of Sasha's baby, that would give Willow the upper hand and Michael might lose custody of his kids. So he agreed to stay on the sidelines and let Sasha raise the baby on her own. But then Michael nearly died in the explosion at Sonny's penthouse, and now he is recovering in Germany. Sasha is still determined not to let anyone find out that Michael is the father of her baby to protect him from Willow making a custody snatch. So Sasha already planned to go along with this story. She got pregnant from a rando in a one-night stand, someone who would have no place in her baby's life. But then Cody Bell blew that up when he misread a moment he eavesdropped on between Sasha and Jason. And then, like a little gossipy girl, he ran and started blabbing to everybody in Port Charles that Jason got Sasha pregnant. So now Jason and Sasha decided to go along with it to protect Michael. So as this rocks along, we're seeing Sasha and Jason slowly getting closer as her pregnancy progresses. Sasha and Jason have been sharing some close moments. They just felt the baby kick. So it's looking like they might really spark. And the only person who they've shared the whole truth with is Danny Morgan, because Jason didn't want to lie to his and Sam's son. And as we get deeper into this storyline with Jason and Sasha, the more it reminds me of Sam and Jason and their early days and how they got involved. If you are a longtime GH fan, you may recall when Sam came onto General Hospital, she was a con woman. She was a schemer, and one of her main things was scamming rich men out of money. And does that remind you of somebody scamming people out of money? Somebody Jason's getting close to right now? Because early in her Port Charles days, Sam got involved with Sonny, but then he reunited with Carly. And then Sam found out she was pregnant. So Jason agreed to step in and act as a father to the child so it wouldn't interfere with Sonny and Carly. Tragically, little baby Lila died. And of course, Sam was devastated, but Jason was there for Sam through that awful ordeal, and they grieved and they bonded and they wound up falling in love. And now what's happening with Sasha and Jason is kind of following a similar pattern, hopefully without a tragic outcome though. When Sasha first came to Port Charles, she was also a con woman, if you recall. Back then, Valentine Cassadine hired her to pretend to be Nina's long-lost biological daughter so he could win her heart. Plus, Valentine really wanted to make Nina's mom dreams come true, and he hadn't been able to find her real daughter. And then, of course, ultimately, it came out Valentine lied and Sasha was a con woman. But Nina eventually forgave Sasha, and now Nina is almost got a motherly bond with her. And then GH did a complete rewrite of her history and gave Sasha a mom that's a real blast from legacy character past. They made Holly Sutton, queen of all con women, Sasha's mom, and created history where Holly taught Sasha everything she knows about cons and schemes. So Sam and Sasha are both ex-cons, ultimately with hearts of gold, and both of them got pregnant with a Corinthos baby. And in both cases, Jason stepped in where the bio dads couldn't be involved. With Sonny, it was because of Carly, and with Michael, it's because of the Willow issue and because he's recovering from devastating injuries. So chances are we could see sparks fly between Sasha and Jason the same way they did with Sam. and Jason so many years ago. The main difference is Sasha's baby should live. She's already lost one baby on GH when she was married to Brando, so it would be cruel of General Hospital to do that to her again, especially since her husband died, and of course fans would hate it. So Jason and Sasha might end up falling for each other over the course of her pregnancy or after the baby is born as they start raising the kid together, and they might become a true family. However, there may be a twist that complicates things for Jason and Sasha in a way that didn't happen with Jason and Sam. Right now, Michael is still in Germany recovering from his burns, but two different sources point to General Hospital recasting the role. For one, it felt inevitable that Michael would return because his name has been dropped pretty much constantly since his exit. Carly and Sonny keep talking about how Michael's doing well and getting better and how they can't wait for him to return. However, Chad Duell is busy with family and doing some stage work as well, and he seems to have moved on. So one source that I trust said that they heard a reliable rumor that GH was recasting the role of Michael. And then another huge hint came out, not even a hint, it pretty much confirmed it. Actor Robert Adamson, who has filled in for Chad Duell as Michael a few times, tweeted and then deleted a pretty salty post about recast auditions for the role of Michael. In this post, which you can see here, Adamson was pretty snarky and he tagged the ABC soap and sarcastically thanked them for having him read for the recast of Michael and reminded them he had filled in for Chad Duell several times without notice or even time to prepare, and then he griped about not even getting the opportunity to read for the recast. So it definitely sounds like they are auditioning for a Michael replacement to come back with a new face, and that could be a big difference in this potential Jason and Sasha romance that to some extent feels like a similar retread of Jason and Sam. So Michael's return could complicate things if Jason and Sasha start to get feelings for each other, and Jason and Michael are like father and son, but if they both have feelings for Sasha, there could be major soapy triangle drama ahead. So this storyline right now to me aligns a lot with the early days of JaSam, but with a possible twist if Michael comes back, wants to claim his baby, wants to claim his baby mama. And if so, that might be problematic if Sasha has started to fall for Jason and vice versa. I cannot wait to see what happens next, and we will update you when we hear anything else about the recast of Michael. There's been some chatter about a very handsome Young and Restless alumnus possibly landing the role, but I'm going to hang on to that nugget until I hear more details on that. So check back soon.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.